It's the 14th of January, 2 months since I did the last video of the garden. I'll do an update now. The garden has been suffering from drought lately. We've been hauling 1,000 liters or maybe 2,000 liters a day of water from the creek and then pumping it onto the garden. So it's still looking fairly good. Here's the zucchini that I think was pretty little last time, and the tomatillos. Most of the tomatoes are looking good, but some of them are wilting like this. We have problems with a fungal disease getting into the roots. Most of that has been pruned out by now, but some places still have a problem. We're starting to get tomatoes. Esther harvested, I don't know, several baskets full this morning. This area is beautiful. That's Martha and Maria's little area with their tomatoes and a few other things. I've planted chamomile and alyssum. It smells heavenly. The sunflowers are blooming here and there, and some zinnias there. Down at the end of this row is the most beautiful sunflower plant. It's right over a drip line that we've used 2 or 3 times, so it got a lot of water from that. We've gotten quite a lot of strawberries, and they're pretty well done. We've never watered this section, so we're suffering a bit, but still looking fairly good. It seems to have worked to plant the cabbage and beetroot in alternating rows in this bed. I haven't had any problems with cabbage worms, and some of the cabbage needs harvested. Oh, this is suddenly looking stressed from the dry. I've never watered this bed either. And this one, where we had a lot of beetroot come up by itself, it's looking pretty good too. We did water this one a little bit. It looks like it needs some more. It's hard to get water to everywhere that needs it. The raspberries did well. We enjoyed eating them for a while. And these tomatoes are doing very well. We've been giving each plant about 3 or 4 gallons of water at a time, once every week and a half or so. That's all we can manage to do. The greenhouse is looking pretty good. We use the drip irrigation once every week or 2. We've been eating a lot of rock melons. These plants have done really well. Such a treat. And the kumara, or sweet potatoes, are doing great. I need to pick some of the peppers, and we need to harvest the basil. The zucchinis are doing well, tied up. I don't tie them up outside, but in here I have been. So what I did, see where I can see one, I tied a baling twine string to somewhere down near the base of the plant, and then just tied it on a few times with string or strip of old t-shirt, and then I've just been wrapping the plant around the string as it goes up. Every couple weeks, do another twist. So this one will need another twist after a week or so. And I'm not having any problems with disease in here. Powdery mildew is a major problem for us. This pepper plant has finally died. It was 3 years old. These that were from last year are doing well. Lots of basil. I'll have to remember to tell Esther about that. Watermelons don't do very well for us. They seem to get sick. The potatoes are dying back. I put a few new zucchini plants in the middle down there at the other end where the potatoes have died back. This planting of lettuce hasn't done very well. It bolted quickly. It's been very, very hot. But the African gem squash is doing well. These are really good, sliced in half with the insides taken out and then stuffed with a meat mixture. We like to have that every so often through the summer. We'll have that tonight, actually. I put a few cucumbers along this trellis. More lettuce that is bolting. And this is the main crop of cucumbers all the way down this end, this side. Here I have beans And these are my acorn squash. I have one here that we hand pollinated. Let's see. Oh, I don't know which one it is. It has an X carved into it so we can tell what it is. So I'm hoping to save seed from it. Looks like the spring onions didn't do very well. Here's the kumara patch that's outside. I'm experimenting to see where it does best. The pumpkins are not looking very happy. We haven't been able to water them at all. The ones that I planted in the compost pile are looking very happy. Of course, we have all kinds of nutrients and they'd be a bit moist still. I planted my fall crop of cabbages over here after I took the onions out. And we've watered them a few times. In fact, I was watering them this morning. So they're growing well. This is where the carrots were supposed to be. A few came up. I have trouble growing carrots here. So I'm going to save a few of these in the ground this year for seed, to grow a seed for next year. And hopefully that'll work. Now here's what reminded me of taking this video. If you watched the other one, you noticed that we planted 3 onion plants together in each spot. And that seems to have worked well. We got just as big onions as we normally do, and it was sure a lot easier to plant them. And then I was also able to put things in between. So I have my parsley and the celery. I had some kohlrabi there that's been harvested already. No, I think that's all I put in here. But it's worked really well. I will be doing that again. Of course, it helped to mulch as soon as we planted. Actually, we mulched before we planted the onions. Just planted them through the mulch, which was another reason to plant 3 at a time because it takes extra work to pull the mulch aside and plant. Got a few parsnips to come up. I'll be planting more next year because I saved seed. Oh, here's a bee on the coriander that's going to seed. I let several corianders grow and go to seed every year just for the fun of it. Here are my oldest zucchinis. They're doing pretty well. I've been able to water this twice, I think. And corn. We had our first corn last night. It was delicious. Oh yes, here is another experiment I tried. What was it? Christmas or New Year's? Simon had some potatoes that had gotten green and started sprouting on him, ones that he had bought at the shop. And so I took those and I planted them in between the rows of corn. And we'll see how that does. So they've gotten very tall because, of course, they're reaching for the light. And I'm going to see how this works. Because I do take the corn out a long time before the potatoes will probably be ready. We'll see. There's a butternut. Oh, there's an interesting shaped pumpkin. I never know what I'll get because I save my own seed. Here's some beetroot that I'm harvesting seed from. We've harvested a little, but now it's time to get some more because a lot more has dried out. On the other end of the cucumber row and beans, another patch of kohlrabi that needs harvested now. We really like kohlrabi and carrots cooked together with a cheese sauce. It's really delicious. The peas need pulled out. They're pretty well dead. We've really enjoyed eating peas this year. I have a lot in the freezer. More beans, which are not very happy because of the dry. And the other end of the potatoes. There's one of the zucchinis I just planted. It's needing some more water. I'll need to do that tonight. Yep, so that's the garden in mid-February. Very productive, but not very pretty. Oh, and just for fun, I'll show you what we have in here. 40 chicks that hatched about, what was it? 2 weeks ago, I think. They're a mixed breed.